Welcome back to the Bay Area Examiner Film Room. We are back looking at a little bit more USF film this week, and what's nice is we're doing it off a win again. USF gets a somewhat historic victory on the road at Florida, and we're going to go back and take a look at the film, see what maybe the plan was a little bit on offense and defense, and a couple of the wrinkles they threw in, and how they're able to pull out the win. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so very first play of the game from scrimmage. Last week, you heard Goalish say that Byram had to ask to run early. He kind of wanted to run early. He didn't have to ask this week. First play of the game, you're going to run the quarterback. You got a straight quarterback ISO. You've got a pretty good box for this. So, I think they knew that Florida was going to try to defend the run with a lighter box. That's kind of how they've played Tennessee, and see if they can, you'll see consistently try to get 3/2 or 4/3 to keep plays in front of them and not give up the explosives as much, right? So that leaves me with a lighter box to have to defend the run. So I've got a 5-man box right here. I've got obviously my 5 offensive linemen, and then the 6-man is going to be an ISO player. So you should have a nice numbers advantage here. You have got 5-on-4 up front, kind of 1-on-1 with the H-back and the linebacker here. You're going to run kind of just ISO. Byron's able to kind of squeeze through the hole, pick up a decent gain on first down. So then you snap it pretty quick here on 2nd and 6. And you saw this quite a few times where you get some quick throws. And here's something they did a few times, which I'm not sure if this was designed or what, but you have quick throws, and then a lot of times they'd have the uncovered lineman kind of getting out to the second level. I don't know if that's just the quick throws aren't there, Byram can take off and run and have a lead blocker. But you see this a few times, kind of where we'll have a quick hitch here, and then so one of the uncovered linemen is going downfield and leading up. You'll see them throw it a few times, and then the lineman's running down late. So I think that's probably, a ton of RPO stuff where, all right, if I get the throw, take it. If I don't, we're going to have somebody leading blocking down the field. So get to a 3rd and short here. I think Florida gets screws up here a little bit, but you have a good call on to take advantage of it. They're going to insert back here. The H-back is going right. We saw earlier just straight vertical kind of inserting, kind of an ISO. He's going to come back and kind of insert on the backside here. Florida's D tackle is running like they're running a game or something, trying to get over the top. And he just opens that hole up. Your H-back's there for the linebacker. There's nobody left. So good call. Maybe fortunate as well, but even if that guy stays there, you've got numbers, right? So you're in pretty good shape regardless. So I don't know if he was trying to get over the top for a puller, or I'm not sure what he was doing, but you had numbers kind of regardless. So first down, after that you pick up 3. So now you're 2nd and 7, motion the back out. And so you're going to motion the back out. And I'm not sure if it's a thing where, if this guy leaves the box, I'm running. If he stays in the box, I'm throwing. But you're running dart where I'm pulling the backside tackle. They did this a ton, and it's kind of a nice change up if you're going to get some tighter fronts and some mint front stuff. It's a good play against the even front as well. It's pretty versatile. But you're going to pull the backside tackle, and then this is just kind of a special play from Byram right here. It should be kind of DOA. He's able to make a move and then lower his pads and pick up a couple. It's not a lot, but instead of being in 3rd, right, if you get tackled right there, you're losing 4, you're in 3rd and 11. He somehow gets out of it and gets you into like a 3rd and 4, or 3rd and 5, right? So much easier to convert. Put the receiver here as a wing, which was interesting. They attacked the boundary a ton in the passing game down here. Florida will put their rusher a lot into the boundary. They're kind of, and so he's kind of their hybrid player. Like a little bit like USF's B backer, right? So kind of a hybrid guy. So this guy's more of a end pass rusher, but they'll drop him into coverage occasionally too, right? I thought USF did a really good job of throwing into the boundary with it. They're going to run vertical here and give themselves a nice short throw at the sticks. So they're playing 3-over-2 here with this tight split. He's got to open to kind of wall him from the inside. He's running right at him, so he's got to get vertical. Number one is he's vertical here, so he's got to give some ground as well. And then I'm able just to kind of find this space right behind him and kind of hook up right there. And I'm running from like a wing. So compressed set. Throwing with pretty good timing. And then you have here, if the corner was really flying up to it, he's breaking back out. So you got something there if the corner does play it. So nice concept into the boundary there. Good throw, good catch for a first down. The drive ends up kind of scuttling a little bit. You don't get anything out of it, but you move the ball pretty early. So here's Florida's first drive. They're moving the ball down the field. Here's a 2nd and 3. So this one, Lagway ends up thinks he's going to fit the seam in here. You get a pretty good job. So Florida's got a receiver down to the bottom. He's running a hitch. You got a seam there. I think Lagway sees one high and thinks he's going to have it. This corner does a really good job of overlapping. And if there's 2 verticals, he'd probably play in between them and then try to work to the inside one late. There's a hitch, so he really gets underneath it, or rather over the top of it. And you end up getting 3 guys kind of in one window, and it has to be a really good throw. And Jalen Schuler gets good depth here and width to make this window really small. Now, the things for this upcoming week against like a Carson Beck is, if you can see, it's hard to see, but right here by the USF logo, if you watch here, there is somebody there. So now we've seen Carson Beck force it. Maybe he'll force it, but also he's a vet. He might just check it down right here, right? So Lagway, I think, thought he was going to get like 3 deep, maybe like the corner really playing deep third, and he could hole shot this seam right here. They kind of overlap it and come off. But if he just throws the hitch right here, he's got a wide open guy, easy for the first down. Then they convert on 3rd and 3 with a scramble. USF covered up pretty well. But this was a common theme for them, bringing pressure off the backside edge. And then they roll the safety down. Florida's got a pretty good call on for it, but they don't execute it very well, and USF's so aggressive. And I thought the one thing, you go back and rewatch this game, right, for the most part, outside of maybe against Jaden Ball, who's a 240-pound freak of nature, I thought they tackled really well in space. Ball's difficult to bring down. They still got him down at the line of scrimmage a few times. It's not like he was just totally unstoppable. But I thought the USF defense tackled really well. And so here, Florida's got a screen called, and it's not a bad call where they should have the tackle coming out. They should have a block there, and they're running screen. Now, I don't know if his, on original alignment, right, the safety's deep. He may be thinking he's not most dangerous. The corner's up, right? So I think the rotation here and then flying down behind it, because you see the Florida receiver kind of stop and look, and maybe he's thinking, all right, is this guy most dangerous? Before the snap, he was back here. The corner was rolled up. Now he's there. So you've created some indecision, and you've also created a really quick throw. And because of that, this guy cannot get out on the block, and you're straight downhill the receiver. If this is a little bit slower, or if this guy gets the most dangerous, Florida has a chance, right? But you have a really good call there. Make this throw happen really fast before the tackle can get out there, and he has no chance, and this play's dead, right? You almost, if that ball's thrown up a little bit and maybe bobbled, you have a chance to kill the dude or pick it, right? So, really good job flying down to the football there and bringing that backside pressure. And then the other side of this, as you watch here, I'm bringing this pressure, and then I'm dropping here, right? So if you feel that pressure and you think I'm going to throw a slant behind this, now you're dropping somebody underneath that window, right? So I thought they did a pretty good job disguising intentions and also changing it up a little bit and gave Lagway some tough pictures. 3rd and 15, Florida's got like a backside slant. I think they're thinking, hey, maybe we get man coverage, almost like a backside post, backside slant. If you get man coverage, we got a big-bodied receiver back there. Maybe he can kind of post up, win backside, one-on-one, and he works that way. They also got a flare screen here. USF did a really good job out on that. They've got bodies here. Lagway works backside, catch, and then immediately hit. So a really good job defensively there. The route's not great, but you maintain inside leverage, right? If you're the receiver and you got an inside breaking route, you probably want to win that inside leverage so I can snap it across his face. You don't. And USF does a good job maintaining that inside leverage so I can break on the ball and do this. And then, those guys on the back end were hitting pretty good. So force a field goal, which in this game, that was kind of the difference, right? You didn't let Florida cash in their opportunities for touchdowns, made them kick field goals, kept you in the game, and then you were able to win it in the end. So this was a nice little change-up as well off of play action. Make Florida communicate the motion. Push this a little vertical, right? Hold him, block that, get the ball on the perimeter. Make them chase, right? Knees down there, but good play. Then you get at 3rd down or 2nd down, I think it was 2nd and 3. You get it to 3rd and 1 here. You're going to pull the backside tackle, so you're going to go dart here. Great run here by Byram. But the thing that I'm not sure if this is called, and it is something that's starting to be called more, where I'll fake the mesh here like I'm going to hand it or I'm reading it, and this guy's really just faking it and becoming another lead blocker. So I'm not sure if that's what they were doing or if he was truly reading the backside of it. But the way he's tracking behind it, I think it's a fake, and he becomes another blocker there. But then this is all like, this isn't scheme. This is all just a bad dude, right? I said Byram is a bad dude, and anytime you have a chance to win, that's what I'm talking about, right? Play that could be kind of dead in the backfield here. He's able to cut it back, cut across people's faces, get out, pick up a 1st down, right? When you have a guy that can do that, you're in every game, and you've got a chance to move the ball against everybody. And these are the ones where you're kind of thinking, okay, like Byram's not even firing at 100%. Like he's not even like totally, firing on all cylinders. He can get better, which is nice, right? So you're going to have a switch release here. Florida brings some pressure. Switching inside, and he ends up flattening out for a dig. There's nobody in this middle portion. The ball is a little bit behind him, right? Now I get in some pressure here, but if I'm going to throw it out, and now maybe the ref gets in the way, but if I throw it out in front, I've got a chance to catch and run. It gets held up behind, and the DB is able to make a play because the ball is behind me. So once Byram kind of cleans up these things, and we have some more looks at the same kind of idea later, or same kind of throw where we miss a throw. It's not that he can make. Once we clean up those things, right, offense is going to just be even better and really take off. So 2nd and 10 here. Little counter look. I like this, this look here. We're going to pull. All right, so we're going to treat him as the end here. So we'll pull and kick him, and then we can wrap for the next guy inside. We got good angles for a down block here, right? So down, good down block. All right, it's not a killer, but we're fighting, right? We're getting it coming. Here's the kick. Here's the wrap. Byram run fake is going to hold people. And gets close to popping here, but goes for a nice gain on 2nd and 10, gets you in a 3rd and short. And now you get to a 4th and short here. I think they go with kind of the same concept as that 3rd and short previously, where it looks like dart, but you're also faking the back where he may be part of this block as well. And Byram just sticks his foot in the ground, gets vertical, and is able to barely pick up the first down, but pick it up nonetheless. So then here, first down, you go. I think it's interesting the difference in like the snap. So if you look here, 4th and 1, when does USF snap the ball on the play clock here? They snap it with 9 seconds left, all right? A couple plays later, they snapped the ball with 31 seconds left on the play clock. So not only did they didn't huddle, they also changed the tempo up a ton. And here's another one where I think if Byram to get a little bit better ball here, this may be a touchdown, right? So he's going to be vertical on like a deep vertical post, it looks like, and he's coming across here. If you can really rip this post out here, this is the guy that ends up coming back to make a play. But if I throw this thing, it's really vertical, this is probably a touchdown because I don't think he can make up the ground, right? Because right here, he's got to make up the ground all the way to there. If I throw it here or, more vertical, he's got a lot of ground to make up. I really throw it far across and flatten him, and you can see how the receiver's got to hold up, try to come back to make a play. Right? So even if it's not super vertical here, if it's just more down the field, let him run over the top of this guy, you've got a chance. So except the ball kind of hangs. Nimrod got down the field, but the ball hangs a little bit. You're not able to make the play. So then you get to 3rd and 11 here. Really well executed screen. You just about picked this up. Florida does a good job tackling here. But right about here, I'm thinking, oh, they got a really good chance of picking this up. So they're going to get there. And what's nice is you see you've got kind of a double screen here. So you've got kind of a middle screen coming this way, and then you got this one coming back the other way. So really cool design where you got kind of everybody's pretty much out except this tackle. So, right, if I wanted to, if I got the right look, I could throw this one. I got the look over here, I throw it that way. Again, they wore out the boundary, I thought, in a lot of the throw game. And then you get 4th and 2. And then again, let's look at when the snap is, all right? So 3rd and 11, you snap it with 5 seconds, 6 seconds left on the play clock. 4th and 2, you snap it with 28, 29 seconds left on the play clock. Florida's not set, or they don't have everybody off the field. You can catch them with 12, free play, take a shot. They break it up, but it doesn't matter because you got the first down. So some aggressiveness paying off and some, changing up the tempo really well. Come back with the screen on first down. This is something Nathan's talked about a few times. Like a lot of teams, like you just saw, 3rd and long. That's when a lot of teams, that's a screen drive. And you'll hear, if you go to a high school game on Friday night, you might hear 3rd and long. You might hear screen, watch for draw. Right? That's kind of you'll see that a lot on 3rd and longs. 1st and 10 is not as much. And really cool design here because they have a run action that they kind of run later. Byron pulls it where they are kind of arcing out here, and I could probably pull it and throw it out there or give it to the back or keep it myself, right? So here it makes it look just like that. You get this guy triggering, and now you're actually running screen, and you're going to come right back underneath. So really cool design. Good job by Byram to find the window. And then good run after catch there. So pick up a nice first down there. First play of the second half here, or second quarter rather. And you got a chance here to convert. It's third and long, right? You're gonna kind of inside, make it look like a switch here, and then you're gonna be breaking back underneath, right? So we showed earlier that tight split. Right, he's walling this vertical. He's playing the vertical here. He's playing for outside. And previously, right, I just kind of curled up there. So now you're going to break back in. So look at all the space you have Now, Florida does a good job right here. Your left tackle kind of loses this one right here, a little one-on-one matchup. But if you had the time, really tough concept. If I can hit him on the run here, he's got his back turned, right? This thing could go. So Byron can't. It's a little tough. I'm getting hit kind of right as I throw, right after. But a better ball here might be a touchdown. So unfortunately, you got to settle for a field goal. Florida's next drive on offense. I thought Jarvis Lee had a really good day. So this is something else to watch. A lot of times when Florida brought motion across, you got blitz off the backside edge. We've already seen some blitz off the backside edge. But watch, I believe it's Jarvis Lee right here. He had a really good day. Florida could not block him. So watch him here. So this is one of Florida's big transfer receivers. He's a big dude, like 6'3", 215 pounds, big body. And this is a big running back here. Jarvis Lee beats him across his face, smokes the running back, makes this thing turn back inside. We're right here, at the snap, you're like, okay, here, seal. I'm pulling my lineman, and I'm also got a back leading up for this. So like on the whiteboard, this looks like a great play for Florida. But USF flies to the football. Jarvis Lee blows it up, turns it back inside, and you've got Josh Seliskar running flat down the line of scrimmage and running this thing down. So really, really good job pursuing the football. Now, this is probably why Florida comes to reverse back in a second because of how hard you flow. But they're not able to finish the drive. So that's fine. I think this is Jarvis Lee again. Again, Florida's got, like, on the board, this is a pretty good play right here in terms of they've got screen going both ways just like USF did. If you get that blocked right there, he's coming here. The receiver will probably catch it and get inside, and you've got one for there. So good call here by Florida. But, again, they can't block Jarvis Lee. Look at this right here. Bend, get underneath it. Right? If I catch this, I'm getting underneath here and getting in that funnel, and this guy's like a 10, 100 meters guy for Florida. Instead, Jarvis Lee is right on my tail. Got to kind of run away from him so I can't hit this tight turn here. So if he doesn't get me, he kind of pushes me to Mac Harris. And what could have been a really big play for Florida was killed by Jarvis Lee. Here's a look at the motion again. Florida tries to go wildcat, bring in that blitz off the backside edge. Kills the play in the backfield. If you don't bring it, Florida's got a decent play, right? They're pulling. He widens, so he's just going to keep it up in there. Now, Mac Harris may get over the top two. The linebackers played really well. But, if he gets caught up in the wash, maybe Florida has a good play. But you bring that pressure off the backside edge. It's Gaskin. Grew up not too far from this, probably 30 minutes, 40 minutes from the stadium. Makes a big play. Florida gets to 3rd and 14. USF decides we're going to play man and bring some pressure. And they're able to negotiate it pretty well. Now, Florida has a chance here. They're trying to run double crossers, but look, that's kind of locked up. This is locked up. You got the safety in the middle of the field. So you get your tight end matched up, and you try to get kind of this switch release here to make it really difficult with the motion. So really well negotiated. Hoping to get some kind of pick here. He's able to run underneath it and get back in phase and be right there. Errant throw, get off the field on 3rd down. All right, so now you're in 3rd and long here, coming back the other way. Goes with like a little mesh. It's hard to see exactly what's over the top, but you go mesh here. I think it's both the backside guys. Yeah, both the underneath guys. You're going to run mesh. So if you get man, you got your classic mesh. It's hard to see. I'd imagine there might be one of these guys getting over the ball and maybe one getting corner. I'm not sure. I can't see past kind of this first down marker. But Byram does a good job kind of stepping up. Here's the spy, I think, was supposed to be a spy. Kind of runs by him. Florida makes a great play. And then Byram's just got to get out of bounds in a hurry, right? Don't pull up as you get out of bounds because people are chasing you. This one is one you kind of wince as he's going to the sideline. Kind of slows down. Guys are trying to get him. Just get out quick. Forced a punt on that drive. And this is like really well. So Florida wants to take a shot here. And you've got a one high coverage shell, which is what they're kind of hoping for. So they're going to go here and run like a deep corner. He's going to be on the crosser. And you're going to have one to the flat. So they're trying to just flood this area, which is a great concept against 3 high, right? Or 1 high, right? 1 middle safety, 3 deep. It's a great concept, right? Because he's got to play deep third, and somebody plays the flat here, and I can kind of high-low him, right? Intermediate third, deep third, and short third. They can't cover all 3 because, right, there's in typical 1 high, single high coverages, there's 2 guys over there in that area of the field, right? So Florida's got what they think is a really good play before the snap. What you can't see on the screen. So the corner, I think it's Chenault up top, does a good job. He stays outside. The corner ends up running right back to him. So he just kind of stays in his deep third. He takes it. As the crosser comes, now Florida, the design's a little bit odd on that, but Florida, maybe if a post would help a little bit more for them, but they like to corner because that's like a changeup because they will do post deep crosser. So I think they try to go to a changeup. The safety screams down and takes away the crosser. Jalen Schuler does a good job of rerouting or kind of turning and getting back underneath the crosser as well to take that away. So Lagway is forced to quickly get down to his check down because USF covered the crosser up really fast. So right here you can see Schuler, I believe, is getting back underneath that. So that throw's kind of dead. And then what you can't see off screen is the safety is flying down from the top and getting over the top. So they're really kind of almost doing like a pincer move on Mike went awry for a second, like a pincer move on that crosser. Lagway's forced to check it down, and then again tackling in space. Right, he breaks that tackle. He probably gets close to a first down. Instead, you get 2 out of it if you're Florida. Later in the drive, 3rd and 2. The linebackers, man, like Florida's trying to go zone, and you've got your linebackers beating them across face and making a play. Schuler here, bang, gets his helmet, just keeps working, beats it across face, and just causes a big pile up right there and ends up making the play in the backfield. So, I mean, your linebackers, you knew they were legit, but they are legit, right? All right, so 2 minutes left in the half. You start kind of wearing out the flat. Really good, right? Because if this guy's going to be, especially 2-minute drill, if this guy's going to be a pass rusher more, well, they don't have an apex here if they want to stay too high, right? So if he's going to play him, if these guys are going to be kind of linked, then there's nobody really in this area of the field. So they kind of decide, USF's like, all right, we'll attack that area of the field. Now he drops, but you go screen, so you get bodies out in front here. And again, a first down screen is a great call. Alvin Isaac's a really good player in space and really good with the ball in his hands. Pick up a nice gain on first down. Next first down, same kind of idea. If he's going to be a pass rusher because it's 2-minute drill, well, then we'll go snag flat. If he compresses with this, I can throw the flat. If he widens, throw the snag real quick before either of these 2 guys can get there. He compresses, throw the flat, pick up, get out of bounds. 2nd and 4. This may be an option, but kind of same idea, right? I'm going to corner, and then he probably has the option to sit or break out depending on coverage. He breaks out. Byram throws it on time. And again, wearing out that flat. Get yourself into 3rd and 1. And let's look at the snap here. So you got out of bounds. So when you snap it now, you're going to snap it at 15, 14. And then 3rd and 1, you snap it at 27, 26. And this is a really good play by the running back here, but you go dart. So down, 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 pull the backside tackle. And your backs kind of have to press this hole and then bounce late. They get up to the 2nd level here. So good job by the tackle getting there and kind of getting in the linebacker's way so he can't scrape over the top. And then good footwork, holding and bouncing outside, and then bang, breaking the dude off in space. 3rd and 1, converting the 3rd down, but also getting a big explosive play there to get yourself in field goal position. Put this one on here. Just look at the, like we talk working back to the football. Watch this work back to the football right here. So if he just stops right here, this is somewhat covered, right? If I'm here, he's in my window, but watch how he explodes out of this break here. Really runs back and then makes the tackle a little bit more difficult, right? So that's how you see them run their choice stuff a lot. So now you got 3rd and 8 here. I think this is a look at that kind of. This is just a great individual play, actually. This is just 4 verts, I think. And then he's kind of dead to rights here. Florida has a game up front. Right here, he's dead to rights. This is a guy that I think for Florida as a freshman made the freaks list, but Byram also made the freaks list. So get off me and then run away from your spy. Put yourself into nice, easy field goal range there. So, 2nd half, Florida's got a 3rd and 12 here. So this one, they get Lagway confused here because he ends up getting a seam route. So right here, this is something I had a coach called piggybacking, which a lot of times, if I'm over top of him, he's probably blitzing so I can replace his coverage, right? So Lagway, I'm assuming, is thinking that, all right, this is going to be some type of piggybacking. He's going to roll down and take this seam away. Instead, he rolls deep. They run almost like some type of Tampa 2 look here. And Lagway's not looking here at all. So the pre-snap look kind of confused him. You see USF only brings 4, right? Load this up, get the slide to go this way, then bring pressure from the other side. All right, Mac Harris comes all the way across. Lagway's forced up, misses his throw early, and then there's nowhere to go with the football. So really good design, really good job manipulating the protection there, and really good job confusing the young quarterback, right? So a lot of good stuff from Todd Orlando. All right, Florida's forced to punt. Nice and easy. Right, if they want to bring him up in the box, I got 2 over 2. I'm just going to go wide and run almost like a wide screen, but it's like a wide hitch that I'm blocking for. I'm just looking at the numbers in the box. I like those. He's so deep, I don't count him. 2 on 1 out there, catch, throw, easy pickup. USF doesn't get much more on that drive, is forced to punt. Florida's got the ball back. Again, look at kind of the – right, it's all zone stuff. It's about who can get their helmet across a lot of times, right? Watch the USF defensive line get their helmet across. All right, I think he may have an edge here, but he sees that helmet flash and sees that color flash. And even though it looks like it's possible he's got that outside window right there to run to, right, he's going to cut back when he sees that color flash across his face. He cuts back, and you've got guys waiting there. So really good job up front. First and 10, Florida's going to go with kind of a flood concept, and they're also going to try to get the back out front. So really they're going to try to, I think they're hoping to get the back early, or if that's taken away, get the sail route here. The post, it's more of a clear out. With the way he's rolling, I don't think that's really part of the progression much, but it's there. I think if it's a half roll, it's in, but USF, you'll see from the all 22, USF covers this thing perfectly. Lagway maybe could drop it to the back, but okay, so what? We'll come up and tackle, right? We've tackled really well. There's really nowhere to go with the football. He decides I'm going to get a little greedy. Tries to push it down to the post. Chenault makes a great play, a diving catch. And we saw him play a lot as a true freshman. We know why, because he's been great. All right, so you can kind of see it from the wide view here. Florida's hoping to kind of high-low this thing. But good job kind of cutting that thing out. I think they bring this across, hoping to hold him and maybe get a shot there if he does come to take this thing away. But Chenault just beats him to the spot over the top and is able to make the play. The easy throws were all taken away here by USF. So really good job. 2nd and 8 coming back. This is another one of those ones where it's like, oh, this is the throw I got to make, right? So I'm going to pull. Back's going to be a cross. Really good hard play action fake. I've seen people now call this like the Gronk pass, because this is kind of what they would hit Rob Gronkowski on a ton when Brady was with him. Where I'm getting a nice hard fake. I'm pulling a lineman, and he's running back the other way. And you got him wide open there. And it's really cool. It's just a replacement for you're running smash, but you're also getting to the same landmarks as you would on like a snag or a Y corner, right? The Y corner is typically a 3-man route where you have corner, snag, and then somebody running the flat, right? We're just going to get there a different way, right? I got an X here, I got an X here, and I've got an X here. We're just going to change who gets to those X's, right? But it's the same idea. So really well drawn up concept, right? I got a guy on each X basically. Just got to give him a more catchable ball. Now, this one could have been caught, but it's a little low, especially tight ends. Get it up on their body, give them a chance. So right here, looking to push it vertical. Your back does a good job initially of kind of finding the pressure and stepping up, right? But he gets beat. And we saw last year that kind of pass probe from the backs, right? Especially you're going to get some long developing throws. That's going to be really important. So just got to be conscious of that. So right here, USF has a perfect call on for this, because this is a pretty good – Florida's got a decent call on here in terms of this is something they hit USF on off of boot action earlier. So they're going to run a guy to the post. They're going to run 2 on a wheel, and they're going to run 3 flat. So post possibly eliminates the vertical, right? The vertical guy in the third, like a skinny post. He'll probably run with the post. Then you can high-low the apex player with the wheel or the flat, right? He's got to carry one of them. So right here, the post is gone. So right now, if this isn't here right now and Lagway is able to get out, he's going to high-low him, right? If he carries the wheel, I'm going to drop it right here to the receiver coming across. But this pressure is perfectly timed. And then you've got the corner. They're not going deep third. He's kind of playing the flat. So you've got somebody there for this short throw. Thrown immediately. There's your corner playing the flat. Bang. 1st and 15 becomes 2nd and 18, right? Florida gets the 3rd and 7 here. It's man coverage. USF does a really good job of just kind of locking this up. Put this on here, right? Because they're trying to go juke, slot fade, and then slant underneath the slot fade. So a lot of man beaters. Get a rub maybe. Maybe Lagway could have thrown this one here. And these are the ones that I'm like with a Carson Beck with an older guy. He might throw that. But you do have Schuler dropping underneath it. You have really good coverage back here. Lagway pulls it down, and then you kind of rally to him and smoke him right at the line of scrimmage. USF drive coming back. Same thing as earlier. Get the ball on the perimeter. Get a block out there. Go fast. So here you go. Here's the 3rd and 5. Look at how quick they're snapping it. So first down, they snapped it around 20. Here they're snapping it. The ball snaps so soon the camera's not ready. And it's just verts. And your guy goes up and makes a play because the coverage is indecent. You're in decent shape on coverage if you're Florida. The ball's a little underthrown, possibly intentionally. Singleton goes up. Florida safety doesn't make a play on it, and he's able to house it. And a lot of that's because of the tempo. Florida wasn't quite ready again because USF would go slow, much slower than they would normally, and then crank it up. And that's really the hardest thing for a defense, right? Everyone talks about tempo, but if you go the same speed all the time, okay, I just know I got to get ready fast. If you go really slow, I know I've got time. If you change it up, and I don't know what's coming, that can lead to, I think it's going to be slower because you've been slower on all these other third downs, and now you crank it up really fast, and now I'm not ready, right? So really good job changing things up from USF. They're up now. Florida's got the ball 1st and 10 coming back. And again, just look at your linebackers, man. Beating guys across face. I don't think they're blitzing. I think they just read, run, and go. Look at Schuler. Right, the guard's coming to get him. Right, if they get that, they can kind of work a double up to here. They've got a chance at a decent play, but Schuler beats it across face. And then your receiver doesn't do a good job because you've got a bigger body. I think you got Rico Watson out there. Or is that Mac Harris? I can't tell. No, Max Harris is here, right? So I think that's Rico Watson. Receiver doesn't get there. The ball gets funneled out there. Bang. Loss on 1st down. You get to 3rd and 7 here. This is a really well. So Florida's going to try to kind of rub here. It's not a great rub route. But, again, Jarvis Lee, awesome job of negotiating this, right? Because Florida's trying to – all right, they feel like they're going to get main coverage. They're trying to go here. A better route gets him to either fly underneath and makes it really hard or get over the top. Either way, they're trying to just get it out. They picked up 7 yards on this kind of same concept earlier in the game, but Jarvis Lee does a great job, plays it perfectly, stays right in his hip pocket, and then makes a tackle in space on a pretty good player in space, forcing a 4th down. First play of the 4th quarter. I thought this was a really cool concept here. So you're going to switch release here. So he's going to come in. You're going to go almost like you're going out and then run right back behind it. So I really like this. It's pretty interesting. So he's going flat right now. You're coming out. He's got to stay outside to maintain his leverage. This will probably hold this guy right here. Right, and prise open this window for this throw right there. Now a better throw again, but you're getting some pressures about to get there. He gets it off as he's getting hit. So you have some catch after the run possibility there with a better ball, but you are getting smoked kind of right as soon as you release it. So this is kind of the look they ran the screen off of earlier. I'm assuming he can pull this and throw it here. And the design of this is pretty cool. So they're going to motion. He becomes the flare guy or the bubble guy. He's going to go block the guy that's on him man. And then Wyatt Sullivan here is going to release through the line of scrimmage and then out to go get the corner. So really cool design. Byron pulls it, and then Florida just got 2 off the backside. So it's kind of a tough look for this. Now, if you'd have pulled it and just tried to rip it there, you would have had a lead blocker there, and maybe you have a chance. But Florida makes a pretty good play here. But I did like the design of the play. I think it was cool. And you kind of get one later where you pull it and throw it. So we'll look at that one here in a little bit. 2nd and 10. Try to come back to that Gronk pass, people are saying. I think he sees this and feels like, all right, I'm going to get him across again in the window. Florida's linebacker does a pretty good job of carrying it and is able to kind of get a hand on it, right? So well defended there, and then the ball gets tipped up. The bounce kind of goes your way there, falls harmlessly. 16-15, Florida needs to try to extend this thing. Just again, it looks like Florida possibly has the edge early, but you watch helmets get across the ball. This flash of color, right, makes you cut it back, and now USF's got a ton of pursuit on the backside there, coming flat down the line, then gang tackling. So what looks like a pretty good play initially for Florida gets killed. So 2nd and 7 later in the drive here. You can watch your linebackers here. Look up front. You're getting a cross face, right? We talk about getting your helmet across. This is all the way across. It's forced to cut back. Your linebacker gets off the block. You also got an end squeezing down here for a minimal gain. So really disruptive and active up front. So here's kind of the not a motion version, but a cool version of this modern triple option, right? He pulls it. As soon as he sees this guy trigger, he knows I got a blocker out here. There's my pitch man. Byron rips it out there. Good block. Way to come attack the football too and get vertical, not just wait at the sideline for it. Really cool. And again, attacking into the boundary. Here's one where they put formation into the boundary. So now I've got a lot of space here. So I'm assuming they called vertical choice. So you could probably run a go, maybe a post, maybe a dig. I'm not sure, but definitely a go or a comeback, or go or a curl rather. So right here, I push him vertical. He's bailing, bang, break it off for a curl. Good timing. Come back to the football. Nice, easy 12 or 15, right? End up missing the field goal on that drive. If Florida gets a couple first downs here, they can probably salt the game away. They throw on first down. Bad decision by the quarterback. But again, look at kind of guys flat down the line of scrimmage right here. All right, this is, I think, Jalen Schuler into the line of scrimmage and then flat down. If he's not there, this has a chance to maybe pop for 5 or 6. Schuler wins across face, flat down the line of scrimmage. It probably doesn't go for much, but Schuler kills any chance of it going anywhere and then gets you in a 3rd and long. And now you've got the football. 2 minutes and 26 seconds. You got no big deal. You just got to go 89 yards or 60-ish yards to get yourself in field goal range. No big deal. So they go option here on the first play. This is going to clear out, and then he can probably sit or break out. He breaks out. Byron's got good timing here. Good throw. Aren't able to kind of make the connection. 2nd and 10 here. So this is one, man. This is close to being a little bit of a different game here. So you're going to go, I think you go dagger here, I believe. So I think you're going to kind of clear it out. It's almost like a shallow cross, but it's going to be, you're really just trying to, hey, let's clear out the verticals. Lord, clear out vertical. Then we'll go a dig behind it. And then you're going to have the shallow cross coming here. Now, this ends up getting you the interference call, which gets you a first down. But watch here. This is extremely close to being a possible fumble here. But Byron times it up pretty well and gets the ball out of his hands. So right here, I'm like, oh boy, that didn't look good. Somehow, I don't know how, with that throwing motion, we're talking about, dropping the ball down. I don't know what's going on. Somehow, he gets that thing out, and he makes a pretty accurate throw, and you get the interference call. If this ball is hit, it could be a fumble. If this ball is thrown wildly because you get hit, you probably don't get the interference call because it's uncatchable. So the margins are super thin, but you made all the plays to win the game and deserve to win. But, man, it's crazy going back and seeing, like, wow, that was pretty close right there. So then you get the interference, run for like 1 yard or no yards to get the spit. So thank you for the free 30 yards there. And then a great job on the screen. Might have got away with a hold here, but, hey, man, they don't call it. It ain't a hold. Really good job. I mean, this play, Florida plays it pretty well. Isaac does an awesome job breaking the tackle, getting vertical, the linemen don't really have to block anybody. So really great individual play. And again, a first down screen call. Really interesting kind of to get that great individual play. I think Isaac mixes well with Byram because Byram can be the battering ram inside. Isaac can be the perimeter guy a little bit. And I think once conference play starts, all these guys will be very helpful in the backfield. But these first couple of games, Alvin Isaac has been kind of a nice compliment to Byron Brown. So great play. You get a 1st and 10. Easy RPO. If they're playing with depth, rip it out, throw the hitch. You got 2 minutes left. You got a ton of time with where you're at. No reason to just run the clock. But Florida doesn't call timeout. You get a first down. Florida doesn't call timeout. You're already in field goal range. You run the clock. This is a great so they're going to go counter here, right? So this thing's designed to hit here and then hopefully into wrap. But if it gets spilled, I may have to bounce it. But the cut here, like the play is not designed to hit here. But this is why sometimes you just let the backs go. Bang. Sticks it backside and lowers his pads. Picks up a few more on first down. Great run. And now you get 2nd and 4. Motion the back out, and you're just running quarterback ice. So basically the same thing you ran on the first play of the game. So it all comes full circle. You run that a couple more times. Florida can't really stop it. And it ends with this. Make a field goal, basically an extra point to win the game. So really interesting. The first call on offense is the same as your last call on offense. So that's pretty good. Usually, doesn't end up like that. But it's kind of cool when it does. So thank you guys for watching the Bay Area Examiner Film Room. We'll be back next week checking out the Miami game. If you're enjoying this, tell your friends. This releases first to patrons, and then we'll release it wide on YouTube on Fridays. If you're enjoying these, let people know. Share it with them. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Join us on Patreon, where you get this and an extra really in-depth preview podcast every week during the football season. So $10 a month gets you probably like 8 extra pieces of content that are pretty good. So at least we think so. So thank you guys for watching and listening. We'll be back next week with another episode of The Film Room.